First, the short version. Speed Duel decks are extremely cheap, the gameplay's evolved to the point where it's actually interesting, there's 6 or 7 playable strategies, and the prize support for this format kinda feels like money laundering. Please click the ad on your way out. Okay, now time for the long version. Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, with another call to try out an alternate format. Today I'd like to pitch Speed Duels to you. Now, I'm no stranger to the way of the speed. After all, you're looking at one half of the Speed Lords.
The Speed Lord, oh yeah!
Yeah, sorry for taking that off of Apple Podcasts, by the way, but I am not paying $16 a month for a video that got 800 views and sounds like we recorded it in a wind tunnel. Anyway, I am here again to try and sell you on the format. I imagine some of you have never even heard of Konami's most supported alternate format since... Battle Pack Draft? Oh god, I hope that's not correct. So what are Speed Duels? Speed Duels are just paper Duel Links with a different card pool. 3 zones, no main phase 2, 4,000 life points, 4 card hand, skills, and an overwhelming desire to beat anyone playing Sphere Karibo to death. Speed Duels were conceptualized as a way to get new players into the game, but they're not very good at that. Gameplay tends to be resource-oriented, akin to the way you'd play Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2006, which I like a lot. It just means you never really develop the foundations necessary to play a game that looks like this. Getting a lot of use out of that clip. So why did Speed Duels fail to catch on? Basically, Konami couldn't decide if Speed Duels should be an introductory product or a standalone format, and this disconnect turned players off. This disconnect was reflected in product as well. Speed Duel packs were 4 cards, no guaranteed holo, and sold right next to packs that were twice their size and full of secret rares with 6 paragraphs of text on them. If scalpers had never come along, I would bet any amount of money that you could head to any Target nationwide and find any Speed Duel set of your choice, still stocked since 2018. Konami, to their credit, had planned cool events for the format, giant cards at YCSs, demo days at FYE, sealed events at locals, but because there wasn't yet a player base and there was no real OTS oversight, a lot of the sick shit that they shipped to stores just ended up being raffled away during advanced tournaments. Then, right before March of 2020, a death blow was dealt to the format. The individual responsible for Speed Duels left Konami, new product reveals dried up, and it looked like the format had entered the great beyond. And then...
Airport's on high alert.
Like GOAT, like Edison, like Reaper, the pandemic was honestly one of the best things that could have happened to Speed Duels. It becomes a lot easier to ignore a product drought when everything is delayed, and it's really simple to pitch a format that costs $10 a deck to people when money is tight. The pandemic coincided with the release of the Battle City box, which is maybe my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Product ever made ever. It's kind of got something for everyone. Nostalgia-brained anime fans get to reenact the top 8 from Battle City. GOAT boomers get to play in a format where Breaker and Jinzo are crazy. Sample decks are included for sealed players. Draft instructions are included for limited players. And it's got just the perfect balance of cool shit for Constructed that impacted the metagame without destroying it completely. It's also even got a good price point for a gift. Like I said, the guy who made it no longer works at Konami, but while it was in development, he maintained a Discord server where players could give feedback about the format and requests as to what they'd like to see included in the set, and the result is really something special. The product's great even down to the fucking print quality. I mean, these cards feel better than anything that's been printed in the last decade. After the Battle City box, interest exploded. I remember entering a remote duel extravaganza at the start of the pandemic, and they were struggling to fire like 10 Speed Duel events total over the course of the entire weekend with 4 player caps. This last month, I entered the Speed Duel queue 15 minutes after signup started, and I was sorted into Flight 12. At the last couple of extravaganzas, it has had a similar or higher player base than the Duel Links events. And just to show off the impeccable prizing you can win by playing Speed Duel events, I got that. These are my winnings from the most recent extravaganza where I took down 2 8-mans. So keep in mind, this is 2 8-person tournaments worth of prizing. Oh god, I hope I didn't break anything. Ooh, I came pretty close, actually. Should not have opened it that way. Alright. First, we've got this box right here. And in this box, we have just about 1 million packs. Look at that. Just unbelievable amount of packs. We've got the 4 Speed Duel Tournament Pack 1s. We've got the... Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 Speed Duel Attack from the Deeps. And we've also got what appears to be, about 6 or 7 maybes. We also won some Duel Links dice. Or coins, rather. And, of course, the reason that you are all here. These two bad boys. I'm talking about the Yugi mat. Look at that. It is very pretty. Ooh, and it's kind of like more thick than other mats as well. And the Kaiba mat. Woo! And of course, there remains a huge player base running regular tournaments on the Speed Duel League Discord if Konami's not your style. So what's good in Speed Duels? So first off, pretty much every deck is about $10. There's like one expensive card in the format total, Parasite Paranoid, and it's $12. It just keeps getting bought out and then not sticking because it's in like the 3rd best deck and nothing else. It'd be like in the TCG if they bought out like Cursed Eldland, for example. What? Really? Huh. Okay, it'd be like if they bought out Tri-Brigade Fractal. Oh. Okay, it'd be like if they bought out Invocation. Son of a... First up, this is what I used to take down a couple of flights at the Extravaganza, Inner Conflict Monarch, and this is probably the most broken skill ever printed. Once per duel, during your main phase, you can pay half your life points and take control of a monster your opponent controls. It can't attack directly, but you know what you can do with it? Tribute. Now, I will let you know this list is a little bit outdated. These days, people are not playing a random assortment of one-of monarchs. They're playing a much more targeted collection that includes mostly darks like Dark Ruler, Hades, and Jinzo, but also cards like Blowback Dragon. They aim to play like a lure of darkness to always get what they want, and cards like Grandmarg the Rock Monarch aren't well suited to that. In the main board, I am playing Grandmarg and Kaiser Glider, but I do want to sort of let you all know all these cards do see pretty consistent play regardless, at least in the board. After that, we've got the toolbox of just kind of good stuff. Charging Guy of the Fierce Knight is a 1900 attack monster, which is crazy. He's also occasionally a monarch. You contribute 2 monsters with your Inner Conflict, and it did come up a bunch of times over the course of the event. And 3 Breaker the Magical Warrior. I don't know what they were thinking printing this card. Just the most powerful thing you could possibly be doing. A way that a lot of people are countering this card is they won't set anything turn 1, and they load up on hand traps like this one, Sphere Karibo, to protect their life total. Then, if the counter sticks on Breaker, they can take it with their own Inner Conflict and pop anything you might have set. For spells and traps, we're on 3 copies of Book of Moon, another really, really powerful card, especially in a format in its infancy. We've got 2 copies, rather, of Cosmic Cyclone. This one is a little more sus. Among all of the different types of spell trap removal, it is definitely the one with the highest cost, but it's worth it to ensure that Parasite Paranoid is banished instead of sent to the graveyard, and therefore can't activate either of its effects. For traps, I'm playing 1 Widespread Ruin main. This is not usual, but it always catches people off guard. And 3 of the best trap card in the game, Zoma the Spirit. This is a trap monster. It was ruled for this event that does not take up a spell and trap card zone. It's an 1800 attack monster, and if it's popped, big surprise, your opponent takes burn damage equal to the attack of the monster that destroyed it, which usually just ends the game. In my side, I was playing Nobleman of Crossout, another Widespread Ruin, 2 Lost Wind, which was good against the Union specifically, Spell Canceller, another Monarch for corner cases, and Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, who came in a ton of the time. Next up is Moth. This deck aims to use the skill Cocoon of Ultra Evolution to tribute an insect monster from either field equipped with a Parasite Paranoid, and of course anything Parasite Paranoid is equipped to is going to be an insect, in order to summon a large insect from deck, in this case, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. It really needs to find Parasite Paranoid to win, so it's on a Lure of Darkness and a bunch of dark monsters, Breaker the Magical Warrior, Sphere Karibo, Lava Golem, Newdoria, and Santa Claus, which is just a miserably weird card. card and has shown up in far too many lists for me to understand. This deck was pilfered from Rook's table. His YouTube link is not only in the name bar of this screen, it is also going to be in the description as well, and they're a fantastic resource for competitive Speed Duel. Next up is Union Combination. Now, I threw this together in a couple of minutes, but it's pretty representative of what these decks look like. They aim to use this skill, Union Combination, which allows you to make XYZ Dragon Cannon the same way you would make ABC, and Union Hanger, which is inexplicably in this format for some reason, in order to get Y Dragon Head, Z Metal Tank, and X Head Cannon into rotation. You can blow out your opponents with the really powerful trap card Union Scramble, and honestly the non-XYZ Dragon Cannon, YZ, XZ, and XY are all pretty playable. Out of the board, if you're greedy, like I am, you can side a couple copies of Night Assailant so you can use XYZ Dragon Cannon to blow up your opponent's entire board by chaining these two together. It's so funny, super, super, super high roll and bad. And finally, I would like to show off Magnets. This is such a silly deck, and I'm happy it's at the very least competitive against other members of the meta. This build comes from AVAULT, whose channel is, again, in the name as well as the description of this video, but it aims to use magnetic attraction in order to fill your hand with all of the different magnet warriors, and then use them to summon Valkyrion, which is just an unbelievable blowout in this format. He's a very silly boss. Moreover, Magnetic Field is an unbelievably powerful field spell which can be searched by Metaverse, turns all of your monsters into bounce spells. I've seen other successful variants of this playing cards like Twisted Personality for the skill and just flexing field as a repeatable removal option. Super, super exciting. Outside of that, there's some other stuff that remains playable. Twisted Personality is a sick skill that rewards a slow, burn-adjacent style of gameplay that uses Lava Golem and Nightmare Wheel as control tools that incidentally proc it. And Serpent Knight Dragon is around?
Of course, this is necessary for the deck. Broken effect.
So how could Konami keep Speed Duels alive? Keep supporting it, I guess? Listen, I'll level with you. Konami has made a series of very bad decisions regarding Speed Duel product. The packs, for instance. No one liked the packs. They were small, low-powered, and like 80% of them had Kaiba on the cover. But I would like to see them do something like pivot to exclusively the much more interesting structure decks. These came out in packs of 2 and commemorated classic duels from the anime. I don't know, maybe we can get 3 of those a year, and the 4th one can be another product like the Battle City box. For instance, if Konami wanted to capitalize on the success of these structures and the Battle City box, maybe next year, Q1, we get Jaden versus Crowler and Chaz versus Alexis. Q2, we get Aster versus Sartorius and Cyrus versus Zane. Q3, we get fucking, I don't know, the Rainbow Dragon Twink versus Hasselberry and the Axel versus the stoned Moki guy.
Yeah, man, whatever.
Then Q4, we get the Gen X tournament box. Boom! Format saved. But seriously, extravaganzas have proven there is a dedicated player base interested in trying out this format. We had some rumored product for the summer, but with no announcements, and summer almost over already, it looks like it might have just been a rumor. I hope Konami doesn't give up just when the format's hitting its stride. So that's it. Play Speed Duels.